You're watching FemChef FGC. Like and subscribe to my favorite gladiator on the Citadel.
The last day of November, so it is time for your monthly replay review. I did look up the Viper replay you gave me, and it was no longer active. I think it's because you gave it to me at the very beginning of the month. It was so many weeks ago that the replay is no longer stored. So I went into your replays and found a different replay of you playing Viper. I picked Akuma as the opponent I wanted to review because he has the general traditional tools of most of the cast: crouch, medium, kick, drive rush, fireball, DP. So I think how you play against Akuma is probably a good indicator of how you play against a lot of the cast. For anybody else who's new here, I do replay reviews once a month for my channel members who subscribe at least $10 a month. So if you're interested in getting a monthly replay review yourself, whatever character you play, then you can check that out on my channel. But I'm gonna get right into it with the replay review here. We're looking at Modern Viper. I did spend a little bit of time in the lab watching the character guide to get a better understanding of how this character works. But just straight up, and I told Ragnarok this ahead of time, like, are you sure you want me to look at Viper? Viper plays weird compared to the rest of the cast. Her game plan is atypical, her combo structure is atypical, the way she uses drive is atypical. It's a difficult character to analyze if you aren't a top level player and you don't play her. So I'm gonna be looking at kind of just foundational game mechanics stuff and some very like basic first floor Viper stuff, but for anything about learning Viper combos or overall pressure sequences, that's where you're going to want to look to somebody who plays this character. I'm kind of just trying to lay a ground floor for you to start working with. So looking at what we have here right out the gate, round start drive rush is a little bit difficult to check. But you didn't even attempt to check it late, where if you had tried to check it late, he whiffed with the drive rush jab. So if you had tried to check it late, you still would have checked it. Instead, you're just walking back and you don't have a check reaction to the drive rush at all. My guess is that your best drive rush check on Modern Viper is gonna start with the first hit of your medium auto combo, being the crouching medium punch. So you can just cancel that into drive rush into a, I believe, heavy? Yeah, you'll get a drive rush into heavy there, or just into itself, or you could do some kind of special or super jump cancel. Again, I don't know Viper's exact combo routing, but you definitely want to be checking drive rush. So I would be practicing responding to a drive rush, even if it's the only thing that you're rehearsing. Like, just recognizing they turn green, you press medium. You can start out by having a bot that's only recorded to drive rush at intervals, record the bot shimmying a few times, then record the bot shimmying a few times into drive rush, turn both recordings on, turn the empty shimmy recording to a higher frequency to practice only responding to drive rush. As you get more comfortable, you can add a second recording that's like shimmy into a jump in or something, so you're looking for more than one thing. But you want to start training the muscle memory of, they turn green, I press this button. And then the combo routing can go from there. But right now you didn't really attempt to check the drive rush at all. He catches you low. All right, you're in the corner. And you're poking a little bit, but you definitely don't have a super intuitive sense of your button ranges yet on this character, which is really normal, especially because you've tried so many different characters since I've started doing replay reviews for you. I know, speaking for myself, when I start piloting a new character, even just for fun for a couple of days, I have a really hard time getting used to their button ranges. One of the ways that I improved at this with my main, being Modern Marisa, is I went into the lab, I set the bot to either block all or get hit, depending on like whether I was trying to see range to combo or range just for the button to connect even on block. I put the bot in the corner and I tried to see how far away I could walk from the bot and still have the very tip of the move whose range I was getting used to connect with it. It sounds silly, but at least for me, because I don't really have a very strong visual, intuitive sense of spacing, I find it really helpful. So that might be something you want to do with Viper if you decide to stick with Viper. All right, air burn kick. It seems like you don't super understand what you're trying to do off burn kick. And I think some of this is because the character guide isn't super clear. I had to experiment a little bit, but Viper's different strengths of burn kick and Viper's different strengths of the Thunder Knuckle are actually locked behind motion inputs even on modern. So I'm gonna hop into training room after this to kind of discuss what happened here, because if you're only doing the modern inputs, which is, I think, okay, you did go for, no, you recognized you had to press buttons there. I think you might have just messed up the timing. Let me see here. I'm gonna back this up a tiny bit so that I have time to like hit confirm. Okay. Now, I think you just hit him at a weird angle, because you did try to do the right follow-up there, which is good. These are a case of you just have to hit buttons, not necessarily motion inputs, but particularly for the air burn kick and for the grounded Thunder Knuckle, you're still gonna need motion inputs. And here, like, most of this match as it progresses is you either jumping at him or attempting to do the light auto combo. And this is, excuse the bird noises in the background. My girlfriend thought it would be a great idea to buy our cat the loudest cat toy on the planet. But it seems like you do most of your offense by either attempting to jump at them or attempting to do the light auto combo. And I'll explain in training mode why the light auto combo isn't really getting you anything super advantageous. You definitely need to learn more manual combos, or at the very least manual combo enders on this character, because the only reason you're getting any mileage off of just mashing the light auto combo is because people don't know how it works. It's not actually a very strong offensive tool, and there's no mix-up that you get if it's blocked. Here, you can go for the burn kick that'll frame trap them. That's an option. And at this MR, people are mashing a lot, so it's gonna work out for you some of the time. But if Akuma had blocked that, then you're negative 13. So you're punishable with a heavy. It's actually a huge risk that you're taking to do that frame trap follow-up compared to most of the other frame traps in the game. And it's probably not something you want to represent as much as you're representing it right now, unless it's against an opponent that you know is going to mash every time. And you don't ever really fully know that, so you probably want to be a little more sparing with this. Yeah, it's a lot of like doing the first hit of your light, either both hits of your light auto combo, or here you did, okay, that was heavy auto combo. Yeah, it's still all auto combos, and I think it's understandable to be kind of relying on auto combos initially for Viper, especially because she has such an atypical combo structure, but you're really limiting your options by not learning any of her manual combos. I just realized it says Master under your name on Viper, and I had not realized that. The replay you gave me before was still in Diamond, so big congrats on hitting Master. I'm really excited for you. I hope I can kind of help push you in the right direction to be able to climb MR and maintain 1500 or above. Yeah, like, the burn kick as an offensive tool isn't bad. Like, it's safe on block, but your turn is over after this. She gets nothing after that. If he had pressed immediately, you would have had to hold a mix-up. He just doesn't realize it's his turn, because I guess he doesn't know Viper's frame data yet, which is understandable. But you're not creating situations that you can follow up with other tools. You're making really hard committal guesses, like I'm gonna do the burn kick frame trap follow-up, or I'm just gonna do a random burn kick. And then if you're wrong, either your turn is over and you have no ability to enforce mix after that, or you're actually really punishable in the case of the frame trap burn kick. And you're kind of just fishing with buttons that start auto combos. You're not using pokes because of their range, or because you think they're likely to interrupt something your opponent's doing. You're specifically using pokes that start auto combos because you don't know what your hit confirm is manually if you hit with some of her longer pokes. And she has a lot of other pokes that are going to be useful. In particular, the stand medium kick. Not a combo starter, but goes really far. It asserts that they're not allowed to just come near you for free, and it forces things to slow down to where you can use more of your mix-up options, and you're not really representing that button at all. Auto combo. I want to talk about, and I'm going to show you in training mode, you can actually hit confirm that light auto combo into a knockdown, but you have to input the ender manually. The auto combo does not do it for you, which is kind of atypical for auto combos in this game, so I'm going to wait till training room to explain it. And you're just walking away from him, making him come to you, which isn't terrible if you're going to use an approach option from long range to jump scare him, like an air burn kick or like a Seismo into super jump cancel. You also don't super jump at all. I don't think you know how to use super jump on this character yet, and that's pretty key to a lot of her mix-ups, is either feints or super jump cancels. But again, like, you move really far away from him, and if you're that far away from him and it wasn't to launch a long-range option of your own, then you should immediately be looking for the only things he can do from that far away, which are going to be like Fireball and Drive Rush. And again, he Drive Rushes and you don't attempt to check the Drive Rush at all. There, you got the big jump in, which is really good, but you don't actually know a hit confirm off of a jump in other than mashing the light auto combo. And in particular, off a jump in, if you're gonna use an auto combo off a jump in, you definitely want to use something stronger than a light, because on a hit, a light nerfs the following damage of the combo and its damage potential so much, where if you were following up with even medium here, I think, yeah, then you have options. That is, the medium combo is a little expensive, so I don't love the medium auto combo. I think you definitely want to learn a different ender. But at the very least, to go into a medium button, maybe into the Thunder Knuckle, like, and the ender. I'm trying to remember how to, because I don't play Viper. There it is. Forward and any two buttons. So I'm just hitting forward and throw macro to get the ender for the, and this is the same thing for the light auto combo that I'll explain in training mode after this. But that's one option you can do, is a hit confirm off of the jump in. Even as somebody who doesn't play Viper, that's going to do more damage than just you mashing the light auto combo. Or you could even do heavy, which incorporates a super jump for you. And the normal there, like, if he blocks this whole thing, I believe is still, as long as you don't continue the rest of the auto combo, perfectly fine on block. So you only have to hit confirm after, like, the first hit. And just jumping into a heavy or jumping into a medium is always going to be better than jump into a light, is the TLDR there. Because you're getting the hit and then you're not getting the reward. And you're also always going for a reset into throw because you don't know how to end that light auto combo. If you do the light auto combo, you can do an ender by, again, hitting forward and two buttons to actually get a knockdown off of that, instead of just resetting into throw and taking your plus frames. Resetting into plus frames and mix up sometimes is okay, but you're doing it all the time because you don't know how to end the combo. He whiffs in your face, no whiff punish, but alright, you're still learning the character. I find whiff punish is one of the harder aspects of the game in general, let alone learning a new character, so okay. He goes for DI, you jump it, which is not the ideal reaction, but okay, then you really should still be able to punish him here. Okay, you went for a heavy auto combo, and he had time to mash DI again, unfortunately. And this is why you really want to have your own strings, and not just be locked into an auto combo, because then in a situation like this, there's no way out of this. You're locked into a specific sequence. Alright, command grab, it happens. Throw. Nice delay from him. Weird DI reset. It happens.
Round 2. Fight.
And this is why I keep saying that backing up to full screen, if you're not going to use something like a super jump into burn kick or a Seismo mix to close the distance or assert long range pressure, is a bad idea, because you start out backing away from him, and from this range, this jump, like, there's no way that you land on him to hit him. Your best case scenario is you empty jump land and you're closer to him. But he's so far away from you and he has so much time to respond here that you're more than likely to just get the drive rush DP behind the fireball, because his ranged options, if you don't immediately commit to something, are just better. Akuma's fireball game is really fast and difficult to react to and quite oppressive, in my opinion. So I really don't think you want to fight Akuma from all the way back there as a character who, even with a unique long-range fireball and Seismo, Viper is not a long-range character. She's a close-range mix-ups character. And again, you're just kind of throwing out like the first hits of auto combos or burn kick. I'm not going to keep repeating that. I'm just kind of emphasizing that it's a pattern. Jump in again. Light auto combo again. Anytime he's -3 at least, and you know it's your turn, or he does something interruptible, you have a standing 4-frame on Modern Viper, and you can always do jab, 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 forward special to get your DP, and then just go into Ender if you want to end it with the Ender, and get something off of at least asserting that it's your turn if you don't want to press a bigger button. But in general, unless nothing is happening and you're confident you have a lot of time to press a button, you don't assert your pressure in the middle of their strings at all. You wait for them to be finished pressing buttons, even if it's not actually their turn anymore. And this is where I'm always going to recommend watching your own replays, because learning which things are safe and unsafe on block or which things are interruptible is really overwhelming and an ongoing process for everybody who plays this game. But one of the best ways to check, I wonder if I could have pressed a button there in that specific situation without knowing how to recreate it in training mode, is just to go into the replay, do replay takeover like I'm doing now, and go, I wonder if I could have matched a jab, or I wonder if I actually have time to punish with a medium or a heavy, and try things. I think that's probably going to be the way that you lean towards with continuing to improve on this character if you stick with Viper, having brought her to Master, is just trying things in context, because just based on how many characters you've played before getting to Viper, I don't think you're the kind of person that's going to be really locked into like a long, dry training mode session. Like, I have become somebody that's a bit of a lab monster and really enjoy learning in that way, but you seem much more like somebody who wants to learn like in the field and actively. And one of the best ways to do that is going to be to play a ranked match. Then before you play your next ranked match, just go into the replay and try some things. Auto combo, frame trap, throw. I like the drive rush into button, but again, you don't know how to confirm it into anything more significant. I think even, let's see here. That was a medium, so you can definitely combo this into bare minimum like auto medium 1 DP. Like that, and spend only a little bit of drive and get more damage and a better knockdown than what you're doing. Except as a really close range poke and an attempt to kind of check their approach and check spacing, I would start removing the light auto combo from your vocabulary almost entirely, because it's just not a good way to start combos, and it's not a good way to start your offense, and its range is so limited. That random burn kick habit is also really likely to get you killed when you're at this range, where unless they walk into it, you just whiff in their face. If he was more on it and he reacted with a whiff punish, you would be in huge trouble here. Alright, still not quite used to anti-airing. It happens. Nice parry on his part. He wants to get his meter back and he didn't know how to kill off the string he did. You're in a bad situation now here, but you do have CA. So a small combo into CA would still be enough to save you here, especially because it's Akuma. Even raw modern CA might be enough to kill him here because it's Akuma. But you immediately go back to just jumping in and then trying to press an auto combo. Because you don't really have a structure to your offense yet. So I am gonna hop into training mode with Viper real quick and just go over those couple of like really simple starters. I say that not to condescend to you, but because I feel bad that I don't know more complicated stuff about Viper specifically. You picked probably the hardest character to explain for somebody who doesn't play that character to be your main right now. But I'm doing the best I can, and I hope I'm still helpful to you to some degree as you continue putting time into Viper, who is really cool. Okay, so if you are going to do your light auto combo, on block, it is safe, so it's not the end of the world. On hit, though, which is the important thing. If you're just doing this, you are only +1 afterwards. So the only thing that's real there is trying to frame trap with your standing jab. If you even try to throw him there and he pressed a jab, his jab is going to beat your throw. It's not even a real throw setup. You're only getting away with that because people don't know the frame data. As soon as they figure it out, it's not real pressure and it's not going to continue to carry you up in MR. But if it does hit and you want to confirm it into combo, you can do the follow-up. Let me check here. Yeah, the follow-up, just like the follow-up with the heavy knuckle, is going to be forward and any 2 buttons. So I'm using forward and my throw macro. I could also use forward and my medium plus heavy macro. If you don't have macros, you can just press 2 buttons together by yourself, light and medium and heavy, while holding forward, whatever. But if you add that forward into 2 buttons at the end of this, when you see that it hit, then you get an actual knockdown. You're +18, so she definitely has Oki here, though I'm not sure what, because again, I don't play the character. And it allows you to continue your pressure in a meaningful way, instead of only being +1 and then being able to mash out of anything you're gonna do except this. If you do interrupt something that they're gonna do with jabs, I believe you can do, yep, jab, 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 forward special into ender. So if you interrupt something, you can always hit confirm it into that as a really simple routing to just first asserting that you know it's your turn with this, but then getting a knockdown. My guess is that most of the time when Viper takes her turn back, if she has the meter to spend, she's more likely to want to spend it on a super jump cancel or a burn kick mix up. But at the very least, to just start asserting your turn and know that even without anything complicated, you can always do this. The motion inputs that I mentioned earlier. So you can only get the heavy Thunder Knuckle with forward special, which is basically your DP. And you still have to manually do the follow-up with forward 2 buttons to get the knockdown. If you want to get the other strengths of Thunder Knuckle, which this is a light being used in the light auto combo, or to get the medium, you have to do quarter circle forward into the button. So, oh wait, no, sorry, quarter circle forward is burn kick. Is quarter circle back? Yeah, it's quarter circle back to get the Thunder Knuckle. So, this is light. This is medium. Actually, that might be medium in the middle of the combo, not light. I think it actually is. Yeah, it is, because I just did medium manually. So right now you're not using light at all. And if you want to use medium outside of canceling it off this like good but fairly stubby button, you can still use medium raw here. And it's a good way to close the distance if you're not necessarily close enough to use even your long range normals yet. This will get you in. And on hit, you can confirm it into a follow-up just like you do the heavy one with forward 2 buttons. Into knockdown. The light one is the longest range. but I believe the light one is not safe. Okay, the light one is safe at -3. The medium is -3. Obviously, the heavy is very unsafe because it's her DP. For doing those follow-ups, it is important once you start incorporating those follow-ups that you're not doing those follow-ups on block willy-nilly. Because I believe they can, let me double check, I believe they can frame trap. Okay, the medium into follow-up will frame trap if they mash. Oh, it's because they delayed it? Yeah, it is. You have to manually delay to get the frame trap. Or maybe it is? Again, I don't actively play this character. But I believe, yeah, you can get a frame trap if you do the follow-up on block. But if he just blocks the whole thing and you did the follow-up, then you're -13, you're super punishable. So you only want to be doing the Thunder Knuckle confirms into follow-up if you see that it hit either raw or in a string. But I think in neutral, especially having access to the medium is going to be really useful for you if you're comfortable doing the motion input. And if you're not comfortable doing the motion input and you don't have something that physically prohibits you from learning it, I would be absolutely labbing it to get more used to it so that you can start incorporating it into your gameplay. The other motion input is the different strengths of, let me see, what's Burn Kick? With just this. Burn Kick is okay, Burn Kick is back special, but it's a quarter circle forward input, which is kind of a mindfuck if you ask me. But if you want more than just the one strength of Burn Kick to increase your mix-ups at range, like this does not go that far. I think this might be the medium one, but let me see. Yeah, it's the medium one. Light basically hardly moves you at all, so it's more of a bait. Medium's the one you've been using. But then heavy goes like really far. A lot of the times that you just barely whiffed with the medium, if you had done the heavy, you would have connected. You're also not really using her cancels into Burn Kick in the air at all, which is still a quarter circle forward input in the air. But the light drops you down immediately. The medium moves you forward a little bit. The heavy moves you forward a lot still. So there are a lot of ways to mess with her jump arc, and you can do super jump cancel into the different strengths of aerial Burn Kick. You can do just the raw Burn Kick to get to them. You can cancel Burn Kick in the air off of even a blocked normal for ambiguous, are you going to cross up or not? It's not a guess if you're only using the modern input for aerial Burn Kick, because it's always just going to land you... hang on. It's always just going to land you in front of them, but if you start using the other ones... Yeah, the heavy will actually put you on the other side. So you can actually make it a mix-up as to whether it's going to be a cross-up or not. And that's definitely also worth integrating into your gameplay, because right now, you're just taking advantage of the fact that they don't know how to respond to Burn Kick at all. But if they do know how to respond to Burn Kick, then you need to start mixing up which types of Burn Kicks you're using to make it harder for them. Burn Kick follow-ups are also, they will frame trap on block. They will frame trap if they mash, but they're extremely unsafe on block. That's -15. Okay, correction. Let me double check which one of these is. I don't want to give you incorrect information. If you do the light plus medium follow-up, yeah, that's punishable, and it's a true string, so you only want to do it on hit confirm, where if you do the medium plus heavy follow-up, that does frame trap them, but it is really, really unsafe on block. So you want to be doing that as either a hard read or a hit confirm as well. If this actually hits them, obviously, you can always do the follow-up. I don't really know how to explain what to do with Super Jump because, again, I don't play the character and I don't know her routing, but you definitely want to, I would say, go through her combo trials, talk to some people who are dedicated Viper players, particularly modern Viper players, and figure out when you want to be using this. It's just down into immediate up to get this on modern, which makes it quite a bit easier to do. Right now, the only place you're using it is in the heavy auto combo where they're doing it for you. The Seismo into Super Jump into Burn Kick, I believe is what that is. But you can do all kinds of manual setups with it as well. And it's a big part of her mobility and her mix-ups and what makes her threatening. In addition, obviously she uses drive in an atypical way where she's spending drive on follow-ups for her special moves or on her Super Jump cancels. If she has a level 1 activated, then while that meter is ticking down, you can do all of those things without them costing any drive at all. So that's another thing that you really want to be conscious of as you start using more of her unique drive mechanics, is you don't want to recklessly burn yourself out using too many follow-ups. But if you want to be able to have access to stronger combos and enders for a little bit without the risk of burning yourself out, ending more combos with level 1 is really, really valuable in the long run. I think that's all I really have to say about Viper right now. I'm sorry again that I don't know more about this character, especially because she's really confusing to somebody who doesn't play her. But I hope being able to explain some of the foundational structures and things and why some of the pressure you're doing isn't real or that they could be mashing out of it, ways you could be taking your turn back, is still helpful. I would definitely recommend going into, where's the... Why is this not letting me? There we go. I would recommend going through, if you haven't already, the character guide for Modern Viper, which I did before I sat down to record this to get a better baseline understanding. It'll walk you through different use cases for all of her buttons, and then fundamentals 1-2, advanced 1-2 just kind of gives you a structure for her game plan in general and how to approach putting all of it together. And then for actually learning combos, I would definitely recommend starting with the combo trials, maybe even before you talk to a person, because these are structured to be a useful intro to the character, and going through her combo trials to just get a sense of more of the things she can do outside of just what's being done automatically inside an auto combo. Thank you as always for your support every month. I really, really, really appreciate it, especially having been out of work for more months this year than not. I am starting my new job this week and I'm so happy, but it really did mean a lot extra, especially during these months, to have that little bit of extra support. So thank you, thank you. If anyone else is interested in a replay review, especially if you play a character other than Viper that I understand better, you can join as a channel member at $10 a month, and I'd love to have you. Thank you again, Ragnarok. Thank you, whoever's watching, and have a great week, everybody.
Where are you going? Before hitting like and subscribe,